With the open being toes to bar, a lot of grip with clean and jerks, and rowing, forearms are going to be pretty blown out after the workout. So, to help mobilize, use a lacrosse ball. Find a surface that is about waist height or higher, and go ahead and begin to roll on top of your forearm with a lacrosse ball. I like to place my opposite hand on top just to provide a little bit more pressure onto my arm. And the goal is to relax whatever arm you are rolling. If you find a spot that tends to be a little bit tender, see if you can just hold it in that spot, relaxing your arm and getting the muscle to finally let go. So go ahead and pause, do about 1 minute per arm, just like so, and then you guys can replay for the next position. Another spot that you might feel tenderness is going to be your traps. So from all the clean and jerks, place the ball right at the top of the shoulder here on the left side or the right side to start. I like to work a little bit closer to the top and then maybe work my way down. You can turn your head also to the side just to kind of create more tautness in the muscle. But again, just rolling until you find a spot that might feel really tender, and then breathe. So deep breaths once you find that spot, try to hold it. See if by taking those deep breaths allows you to kind of relax that muscle a little bit more. So pause the video, do about 2 minutes on each side, and then we'll continue. Spot we'll be hitting is going to be your chest. So from the toes to bar with a lot of the pressing, yes, you want to use your lats, but at the end of that press, you're also using your pecs. So what we're going to do is aim right underneath the collarbone area, kind of closer over to the shoulder. I use a column right here so that I can almost step through, which I'll show you in the next video. But just kind of working right underneath the collarbone and working your way out towards the outer edge of your shoulder. This is a really tender spot, obviously, especially if you're female. So just be kind to that muscle, taking it nice and light. Lighter the better, because you can end up bruising part of that. So spend here just about a minute on each side, just kind of creating a little bit of motion from left to right, working alongside the muscle, and then you can step through. So if you notice, I'm right here on that anterior delt. In the next video, you'll see how I create more of that stance. So keep watching, but try to go again about a minute on each side for your chest. Just stepping through and creating as little pressure to as much pressure as you need to. Alright, the final spot that we're going to actually work on is going to be our lats. So we're going to do 2 parts of this. One is going to be a foam roll, and the next one is going to be more of a banded stretch. We'll also do a stretch with the chest as well to finish out. So for here, I start the foam roll right about rib cage, leaning kind of front to back. Then you can get more of a feel of where that lat is, where that muscle translates over. But don't go any lower than your chest, or you'll get into your floating ribs, and that's bad. So kind of working yourself front to back. Once you find, again, a spot that feels a little tender, hold it and maybe rock soft forward to back movements to try to smooth out the muscle. So I'll work this all the way up in closer towards my armpit. Finding, again, any type of sticky spots. I like to reach my arm forward with this one and then make a fist and just place it underneath my head so that my traps don't start activating and I'm not creating too much tension in my upper body. You can also reach your bottom arm forward too if that feels better. So after you do 2 minutes on each side for foam rolling out your lats, you're going to take a band. It doesn't matter. You can use one of the bands in the gym if you have a band at home, and loop it over something high. From there, you'll grab a hold of it, and you're just going to do a minute per side You can do either this kneeling stance that I have here. The goal is to just keep that shoulder almost engaged and looking under your arm. So my palm is facing in, not out. And here's the opposite one, is you can actually do this one standing, both feet here, as long as you're not putting too much tension on your low back, or you can stretch back, same leg reaches back, that way you lengthen that side completely. So 1 minute per side. The last stretch we're gonna go over will be your chest stretch. So I love this one. I push my arm, so stand beside a pole or a wall, and I push my arm into the pole or wall as I twist the opposite way. So a big one with this is keeping your shoulder down and back. That way you can really isolate the pec. You can do this one in any height that works for you. I typically do 6 reps at 3 different heights. So I'll start low, work my way to the middle, and then finish with a higher stretch. So do 6 reps at each one, opening up that chest as you twist to the side. Keep your shoulder down and back is key though. If you let your shoulder roll forward, you guys aren't gonna feel this as much in the right spot of that chest. Doing both sides. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to mobilize and take care of yourselves after the open workout. Like I've said, these are some of the more intense workouts that we try to put ourselves through that typically damage the most of our body. So taking the time to help yourself recover and get ready for the next one is so important. Feel free to pause this video at any time to take a little extra time to mobilize, and then you can just keep continuing play. So see you next week, 18.2.